Can I tell you a joke?
Oh, please.
So 3... That was the most, like, insane look. You're like... So 3 statisticians...
Wow, this is going well.
3 statisticians go into the woods hunting.
Mm.
The first statistician fires a shot 10 meters to the left.
Okay.
The second statistician fires a shot 10 meters to the right.
Sure.
The third one jumps up and down and says, I hit it. Nerd!
It's a math joke.
I'm sorry.
No, I really liked it.
Do people ask you for advice?
Sure.
Do
Yeah.
you find people asking you for advice?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like a common thing that you've been asked
What
to
should
give
I
advice
do?
on?
Everybody has a lot to say. It's not that I'm an expert in relationships. It's just they need to vent.
Right.
And then they want your opinion, but then they never listen.
I found some advice columns, and I thought these 3 were specifically. You might have you and I, we, us, Ben,
together, and Julie,
would have special insight into it, as because they are restaurant oriented.
So we're experts.
We're experts,
professionals. If you will. I will. Will you?
I'm just going to read the letters to you, and I want you to give me your
advice.
Your advice. I went to dinner with my girlfriend last week.
You fucked up right there.
Okay. She's getting cocky.
Did you make her pay?
Yeah. I went to dinner with my girlfriend last week, and I thought one of our apps was under-seasoned. It was fine otherwise, but I told her under my breath that I thought it could have used a little salt. About a minute later, our server delivered a salt shaker to the table without a word. There was only a couple of bites left to use on it anyway, but what's worse, I felt eavesdropped on. I think if I really wanted some salt to be brought, I would have asked, and I didn't like the notion that the waitress was listening, especially when I purposely tried to lower my voice. Am I wrong to think this was an overstep?
Assume we hear everything, because we do. We can see it in your body language. We can see you in your little, like, I wish I had salt. I wish I had salt. We see it.
Right.
We know what you're saying. You know why? Because we're watching you. Because that's literally our job. So if we see you mouth, I wish I had salt, I'm going to bring you some fucking salt. And then I'm going to pretend like it was my idea. Listen, whatever you say in a restaurant is not safe. When you go to a restaurant to tell your girlfriends that you're cheating on your boyfriend, your server knows. Consider it done. Your server outed you.
Consider it done.
Done. Do you want some ranch on the side with that breakup?
All right, so I got a second one for you.
Yeah, all right.
I'm the proud new parent of a bouncing baby boy. I'm also a longtime fan of a craft beer gastropub in my neighborhood. Recently, my wife and I packed up the diaper bag and put Junior in the baby carrier to head out to our favorite restaurant and bar, where we noticed a new, and in my opinion, rude, sign that said, "No children after 5 p.m. Yep. After asking the hostess, we were informed that this was indeed the new house policy. Salty, I honestly feel like I helped put this place on the map. I went there when no one else did, before it became the popular, crowded neighborhood spot it is now. To have this establishment reject my child seems like a slap in the face, and I'm thinking about boycotting it outright. Am I overreacting? What's my recourse here?"
I have a couple things to say.
Yeah, so do I.
When before they were popular and you were the only one going, I'm sure you're the only one that kept this business afloat.
Right. One person doesn't keep any business afloat.
Then you're gonna boycott it. What do you think that's gonna do? Now you're going under because I'm not showing up.
Right.
Well, also, you had a kid and it's a bar And they're putting these rules in place because, well, it becomes very much a bar.
Right.
Very much. I've seen some things.
Yeah. Last one, you ready?
Ready.
This one's a long one, so bear with me.
Okay.
My daughter and my son-in-law live an hour from us, and we always meet once a month or so at a midpoint restaurant for dinner.
Sure.
I've always enjoyed this time and thought it was a nice custom. Recently, I caught my son-in-law talking to our waiter and giving him an extra tip and saying something about how sorry he was for us.
Uh-oh.
The next day, I called my daughter to see what it was all about because my husband and I have very hurt feelings over the exchange. She told me she doesn't think my husband and I realize it, but our restaurant habits are not thoughtful. I demanded specifics, and she told me that we split an entree and order water only, so the bill is very low. She also said we're demanding of the waitstaff, which is especially bad because we aren't giving them much money to make up for it. I am insulted by this. I don't see how splitting an entree is rude. I also don't see why I shouldn't do whatever I want. That's the point of a restaurant, to serve the customers. The customer is always right.
Well.
Have you ever heard the expression, the customer is always right?
Yeah.
My husband and I tip 10% for normal service, 15% for good service, and maybe 20% if they washed our car while we were eating
You
or
didn't.
something.
Oh, I hate you. You're a fucking bitch.
My daughter said she is sorry I overheard the exchange, but they didn't know what else to do. My husband and I don't feel like we are dining incorrectly, and that it's rude for my daughter and son-in-law to correct our behavior behind our backs. I don't want to meet up for dinner with them anymore, and I can't get over my bad feelings about this. Where do we go from here? Do you say, I'm never meeting with you for dinner again? Mm-hmm. Or do you... I can't eat with you. I feel like in this situation, like, the kids, the daughter and the son-in-law did exactly what they should have done,
yep.
Which is do it on the side. They're not trying to call the mom and dad out.
Right,
and being
but
like,
they paid attention and they were like, not enough, and
right,
and fixed it.
And just because the mother-in-law overheard it,
Give me a break. Bitch.
I'm going to read you one more that has nothing to do with restaurants just because I thought it was a funny letter.
Good.
I recently started my first real job in a small office of 8 people. We have strategy meetings every morning for about 30 to 45 minutes. My boss is very intolerant of bad ideas. She keeps a tape dispenser on the table by her chair, and whenever someone suggests something that she thinks is dumb, she'll peel off a piece of tape and pass it to them, at which point they are required to put it over their mouths so they cannot contribute any more bad ideas for the rest of the meeting. Needless to say, the first time I saw this I was shocked, but my coworkers don't seem fazed by it, or maybe they just don't want to complain. I'm not sure. My boss is kind of scary. My issue with this is that the enforcement of this rule seems arbitrary. It depends entirely on her mood. Some days no one will get taped. Get taped. But the other days, if she's feeling particularly sour, most of us, if not everyone, will end up taped. And the meeting is just her dictating to us. Is this normal?
No!
I'm never gonna get this off.
No, you're...
Damn, that would have been a good bit, too.
God damn it. Nobody can get this tape. What the f... This is trick tape. We hate that tape.